It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Ball is teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're underway from Pittsburgh. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs. But Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in. But it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy.
Wide open down the field, and he has it! He does it! Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles take a 6-0 lead right away. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. Point after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. He goes out of bounds on the return. So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. And bringing them out an electrifying runner and a former first-round pick back in 2021, Justin Fields.
Kate, this is one of those situations where a quarterback has just got to say to himself, poised. Be poised. Yeah, your team just gave up a big blow on the other side, and you don't have to get it all back in one play like they just did. You got to go out there with poise to do your job and go lead your team.
And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
A gain of 15 yards. That's good for a Steelers first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
Loss of 11. It's 2nd and 21 at the 34-yard line.
After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Throw secured by George Pickett. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. Offense in the hurry up here. Catch made by Austin. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. From the 16. The throw is caught. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. Working quickly here. Shotgun snap to Fields. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make it impact later.
Don't jump, ready?
Out of the shotgun, Fields. This one's caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd.
On 3rd and goal, here's Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So now, they're left with 4th and goal. Talk about coming up clutch with that contact on 3rd and goal, partner. And now a decision for this offense to make on 4th down.
We know how hard it can be defensively in these goal-to-go situations. We know that you have got to be on point, every attention to detail. That's a job well done by that defense.
And oh, he got it! Interception! Picked off by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's at midfield. He's at the 30. And the Eagles are finally stopped on the return, but they'll still take over on the edge of the red zone.
And what a huge bonus on top of the takeaway. Not only did you steal the possession, but you immediately, Kate, flip this field and give your teammates a golden opportunity to punch it in for 6. And if they score quickly, well, to put that opposing offense right back out there, still reeling from that interception.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along your route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to run this one well into the red zone to the 14. Offense up to the line fast. Hurts with it on 3rd and short. Complete beyond the marker. And this is down all the way to the 3. The dose of the hurry-up offense here. Hurts now from the gun. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack.
Pressure off left, and it's blocked! Free up the middle, it's a breakaway! The 40! Hits the 20! And against all odds, they get the block and return it all the way for 2 points. Well, Brock, you never want to take the point after for granted, and this play shows why. However unlikely, we don't see it often, but there's always a chance that they can get through for the block, and then it's a foot race down the field.
And then you got to really give credit, right? In the credit pie, give a slice to everybody because it takes them all on special teams. It starts with making the block, and then everybody alert enough to transition to set up the return.
The Steeler offense out and ready to go for their second drive. And I know it's early, Brock, but you can almost feel that they need some points to keep this lead from getting out of control and build up their confidence as well after drive number 1 ended in that interception.
Yeah, totally co-sign that, Kate, every bit of it. It's an early deficit, but there's still a whole lot of game left. You don't need to make up for it right away. You just need to start to see those chains moving.
This ball's cut by Pickens. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Finds his back, Jalen Warren. Is in, touchdown Pittsburgh. The Steelers reach pay dirt for the first time this game. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock, getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game.
Yeah.
That's well done.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles about set to go on offense. And we'll see if the perfect start can continue as they try for their 3rd touchdown in 3 drives. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Caught by Dotson on the slant. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Forced out to his right. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. They're on the stop, Larry Ogunjobi. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 48. Goddard makes the catch. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And they... We're back and excited to start the second. Eagles in a nice spot to put up points. From the red zone now. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Hurts throwing again. He brings it in. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Barkley gets it on 3rd down. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Offense in the hurry up here. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles now lead by 10. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. And that is his 3rd touchdown catch. Certainly enough to call this a very good game for him. And we're still in the opening half, so what else might he accomplish before we're done here? And the 2-point pass falls incomplete. They tried to get aggressive, but it doesn't work. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. choosing to bring it out deep in the end zone. They stop him right as he gets up past the 15. Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit. On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And he found some... Working quickly here. Here's 2nd and 2. Hits his running back. Has some daylight through the 40. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. They've been leaving him open, and that is something they're going to have to button up in the near... Considering the type of start this guy is having.
Yeah, this running back's making all sorts of friends with his buddies in his offensive huddle. Enemies on the other side, but this kind of production means everybody's going to get to eat today.
From the gun, they go with Harris. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. Offense up to the line fast. Off play action, it's Fields. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't...
Lays out for this one. Oh, what a catch! Well, he sure has come out throwing a good ball today, and the passing game has really been clicking early on thanks to his efforts.
Yeah, his play's really elevated the start his pass catchers have been able to have as a result. And you know what they're all thinking right now? This could be a game where we all get to put up some serious numbers, especially if he keeps throwing it like this.
So after that big play, Brock, they need just that final yard here on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers face a 4-point deficit. Boswell to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. From well into the end zone, he's going to bring this out. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him. The Eagles and quarterback Jalen Hurts ready to go once more on offense. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Able to get it to Barkley. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Cole Holcomb there on the stop.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The 2 were right there, and it netted some positive yards. He made something out of that play for them. Everyone's so concerned with defending the pass, they didn't quite keep tabs on what he was doing as a QB, and it gave him just enough room to run.
Barkley's got it. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Hurts. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Was Devontae Smith the intended receiver? And we'll see what they do here on second down. And 2:01 on the clock. This is going to take us inside the 2-minute warning. Bails out of the pocket quick. He can run it. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Now Hurts. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. The Eagles are in punt formation. Calvin Austin on the return for the Steelers. He takes this in on his side of midfield. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. It's a 54-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will take over possession. They'll start with a give to Harris. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Eagles territory. Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run. 2nd and 4. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Let's go. Here we go, son.
Fields out of the gun. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
The Steelers calling their first time out as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up.
Here we go.
They do snap it. Here's Fields. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. On 1st down, Hurts. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Jahan Dotson, the intended receiver. So 2nd down coming up. Hurts setting up to throw. It's Dotson on the catch. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
From the gun on third down. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And he's there to send that one away incomplete.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They can bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on fourth. On fourth down, Hurts. Wow, his first real mistake. That's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have it back at the 42. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Play action, Fields. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete. Wanted to get that one to Mike Williams. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Here we go, son. Go.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Fields on third. He lofts one deep, center of the field. Brought in inside the 20. And he'll be touchdown after a big play. Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Another throw for Fields. He's got Harris.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
Looking for his wide receiver there. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, Fields. And they will score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers take the lead just before halftime. George Pickens the touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Bronk. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring into a defense. Other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. They've got 1st and 10, Bronk, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. He'll throw it. That's caught by A.J. Brown. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Here comes the final play of our 1st half. Looking to throw. He throws a bullet down the left sideline. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down. So we arrive at... The call came in before the teams even hit the locker rooms. We're skipping halftime. We're starting the third quarter right away. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. The Steelers are headed back out there now, led by Justin Fields. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Fields. Catch made by Austin. Off to the races, middle of the field. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers grow the lead coming out of halftime. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers drive their lead to 11. Now Boswell on to send this away. Trying to locate it. Oh, no, he lost it. Oh, no, and it bounces out of their own end zone. That's going to be a safety. First and 10 now from the 30. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. The dose of the hurry-up offense here. From the 36. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete. That one intended for Jahan Dotson. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Here's Hurts. That's into the hands of Barkley. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Has him on the quick hitter. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. 2nd and 3 now. Hurts throwing again. Dump off caught by his back. Still has some space inside the 35. And they get this down to the 28. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down. Hurts now from the gun. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. Is in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles start the second half with some needed points. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
He's throwing for it. Oh, they got it. Intercepted along the goal line.
Those defenders, they're just as excited as the fans when the offense signals they're going for 2. It's a chance to directly keep points off the board. They show some of that swagger that good defenses have.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Here's Fields. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Freiermuth there to bring it in. And they can't catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 22 on that one. And that's a Steelers first down. Fields out of the gun. Caught by Freiermuth. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. He brings it in. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. Offense in the hurry up here.
At the 9-yard line.
They'll throw it again. Has it down close. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Now in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers push the lead up to 12. Now Boswell on to send this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. The Eagles and receiver Devontae Smith returning to the field. First and 10 now from the 30. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be shakes off a defender, and it's a foot race. And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. That's a 38-yard play for him to move the sticks.
Even with everything he racked up on that run, you could argue he deserved maybe a little bit more. That call was the perfect one to break for big yards. The only thing that saved the defense from a score was getting that contact to slow him down and eventually, finally, stop him.
First down, and they go right back to him. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. That stop made by T.J. Watt. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Throwing now from the gun. Chased out to his right. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. Minka Fitzpatrick in on the stop. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Hurts looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
Broke through the tackle. And he is into the end zone for a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Well, Brock started small at first, but then he found that lane, and it was a race to the end zone from that point on.
And it takes a little bit of everybody. How many times do we hear these coaches tell us, if you're going to get a run play for a big gain, it takes the whole group, all 10 of them around him have to do their job. Got to block up front, receivers got to block on the perimeter. They all get it done, and the big chunk run follows.
Extra point up and good by Elliott. And the Eagles trim the deficit down to 5. Well, good news here. This is one kick that can't be blocked as he sends this away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all. So they're going to give them a drive starting at the 30. The Steelers ready for their next series. Led out on offense by their quarterback. And the first half scoring has continued so far in this second half as they try to keep the pace. First and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Escapes out to the left. 16 yards on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of a defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that first down anyway.
They give to Harris from the gun. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. Working quickly here. 2nd and 6 now. Gets this one to Harris. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Offense up to the line fast. And he's able to get this down to the 36. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Another try following the sack. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers stretch their lead on the final play of the 3rd. Mike Williams, the touchdown. That is his 6th passing score of the game. A lot of quarterbacks could go several weeks without throwing that many touchdowns. And now, keep in mind, he's only one off the NFL record of 7 in a single game. Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers push the lead up to 12. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we...
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. From his own end zone, here we go. Now the Eagle offense headed back out to the field. And we've seen some matching touchdowns as of late, so the scoring coming at a good clip, Brock. Let's see if they can keep this up.
You know what's fun, Kate? After all of these years, I have friends that are offensive guys, friends that are defensive guys. And my friends watching this one offensively love it. The defensive guys, they're climbing up their walls. You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Offense in the hurry up here. On 3rd down, it's Hurts. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
2nd and 10 now. Caught by Dotson on the slant. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Working inside the red zone. Can't connect over the middle, it's incomplete. That one intended for Jahan Dotson. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Well, this certainly has been a memorable contest for him. His coaches, man, they're going to take this kind of output every single game.
This goes a little beyond the expectations they have for him, maybe even for himself. What impresses me so much, Kate, the guy just doesn't tire, getting stronger, literally.
Oh, tried forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson takes it away. 40. Into the red zone. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. Went to the oh well one too many times, Brock, and this time the defense was ready for it.
Now, you make as many catches as he has in this game, you're going to attract some extra attention. They knew it was probably going his way in the near future, and they had somebody there waiting for it that time.
A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Hurts back to the air after the pick. Goddard makes the catch. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Working quickly here. After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Pass caught by Gainwell. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
That pass, it did put him in a position where he had to shake a defender. That's all you want. Give me a one-on-one. And he is capable of doing it, but not against that dude. That defender could not be shook, and he knocked him back across the line.
And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Desperation time here on 4th. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. The Steelers... Markers reset, ball at the 37. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And he found a gap to take this down to the 28. Offense up to the line fast. Off play action, it's Fields. And oh, someone stepped in, it's intercepted. And the Eagles get it back as he intercepts him for the 2nd time this game.
I know he started the play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, he baited obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. It'll make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion. I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. He puts some power on a deep one left. Big gain downfield. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. That brings us to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Eagles hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Barkley does not get in. His push is stopped just short of that goal line. Trying to set this up quick. I'll try again with Barkley. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. Working fast as the clock ticks towards 0. Oh no, they get him yet again. And the Steelers get it back after making their 3rd first-half interception.
Yeah, I can still hear the call all the way up in the booth. That's what that whole defense screams after an interception, and you see everybody getting involved. That nearly went for a house call. Just an incredible effort by that offense to run it down, but even with that, they will take that Okie any day. What a huge pick in return for that defense.
That's caught in stride by Freiermuth. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. They've got to keep moving quick here. Wow, they're going to pass it here. He has it at the And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. They get 19, and now they're going to have first and goal.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Now, they don't need points anymore, Brock, but can they resist piling on? Let's see. It's first and goal. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. And got his man. That's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers keep adding to that fourth quarter lead. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Steelers grow their lead yet again. Now Boswell on to send this away. And that one's going to skip across the goal line and into the end zone, so the football will come back out to the 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. That pass complete to Goddard. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. All right, this is going to be the final play of the game. One final shot here. And there's our last-in image of this game. It's intercepted. And the Steelers make one of their best plays at the end, coming up with the interception on our final snap of the game. Well, Brock, the fans, all right, here we go, Steelers, as they take the win on the North Shore.